Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Solar Fit Renewable Energy Show. Bill Gallagher with my sidekick,
Gloria Edson.
We're on the road again. We're still out here. You can't believe it. This is about the 15th time we've been to SPI, also RE+. Got to get used to that. RE+. RE stands for Renewable Energy, plus stands for Storage. Okay, so we're here. We got a very famous guest with us today. Can't let the cat out of the bag yet, because we're going to say thank you very much to our sponsors, Daytona Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, for the loyal support through the years, particularly to our driver, Mr. Daniel Dye, who just finished 10th, about his 7th top 10 finish in the Xfinity Series, driving for Colleague Chevrolet, the number 10 NASCAR. Oh, my God, he's doing so good. What do you think, Gloria?
Yes, he is. He's doing an amazing job.
I remember when we first started sponsoring Daniel, he might have been 13 or 14 years old, and now he's a rock star in the NASCAR circuit. So we're really glad to see it happen. He carries his Solar Fit colors in the race to stop suicide across America. So please reach out and support him. Got our very famous guest, Mr. Clark Galloway, with us. Clark, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. This has been a long time in the making. Bill and Gloria, thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't think of a more talented guy to have on the radio. Can you, Gloria?
I certainly can't.
There you go. It's okay, Clark. Before we get into the real business of it, I want you to talk about a little bit about where you grew up.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Orlando, Florida. I was born and raised in the Altamont Springs, Maitland area, and for the last 30-plus years, been in Orlando.
So you're an Orlando boy.
That's right. You don't run into us often. You know, we're typically, it's a melting pot in Central Florida, but I'm proud to be from Orlando and raising my family in Orlando.
That's fantastic. What do you think about coming out here after living in the flatland and seeing all these big humps that look kind of like mountains?
It is incredible. And being from the land of Disney, seeing Las Vegas is... it's mind-boggling to me.
It never shuts down.
It never does.
There's
always something to see, always something going on. So it's very cool. And it's amazing that it only took Bill, Gloria, and I coming all the way out to Las Vegas for us to finally sit down and do this.
We were talking before. I'd like to get back and turn back the clock to whoever thought up the idea of coming to Las Vegas and starting this little community out here, because it's really in the middle of the desert. It's beautiful. But who did that back in, 20s, something like that?
Right, yeah. There's so much to do here and so much to see, but it is surrounded by natural beauty. So once you get away from the big buildings and you see that, it's pretty amazing. And you know what? From my hotel room, I'm looking at the Sphere.
Oh, my God.
That is incredible to see. It's very cool.
It gets confused with the moon. You know, I was looking the other day, look at the moon coming. No, that's the Sphere.
Yep. Me too. I thought the sun was rising in a different direction this morning. It was something else.
Well, we took a little ride to the north yesterday, just after work, and man, the amount of construction going on, the houses being built, these huge data centers. This is unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. There's so much to do, so much going on, and a lot of infrastructure going up.
You know, it occurred to me when I was looking at these big data centers that they must use something called electricity. Is that true?
You would think so. There's got to be some sort of power in there.
Well, we're at the Renewable Expo here. We know all about power. Okay, so you grew up there. How did you get involved in renewables?
Renewable energy started for me in the fastener world. So I was working for a solar distributor out of Sanford, Florida, selling fasteners to racking manufacturers, but also installers as well. Installers go through a lot of hex screws, hex bolts here and there. Yeah. So I fell into it from there totally by accident, like many of us in the renewable space. And then when I got the amazing opportunity to go full distribution, I jumped into it. I'd never seen anything outside of racking, and I just fell into it, fell in love with the people, fell in love with the industry.
Well, there's a lot of pieces and parts, aren't there?
There are, yeah. And I am by no means a matter expert, but I love learning from the installers.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they're the guys on the roof, and they're doing the hard work, and the sales part's the easy part. I always say that, and the salespeople say, "What do you mean?" I said, "No, but it's true. You know, if you get up on a roof, you're hanging off these lanyards and stuff like that, and oh, yeah, the sales part's pretty good."
It's a true craft, seeing installers up on a roof and getting it done safely, high quality. There's something there.
Yeah, in Florida, boy, I'll tell you what, roll back 7 years ago when we were like 14th or 15th in the nation, we were just crawling along, and now all of a sudden, wham, we're like number 3. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing. The growth has been incredible, and that's what we want to continue to see in Florida.
Continue to see, and I think, obviously, the political landscape is something we can't control. But the fact that these utility bills keep going up is really going to drive the I said this several different times. At one time, having solar was just a really neat thing. Now it's going to become a necessity. If you don't have it, how are you going to protect your family against increasing utility costs? How are you going to maintain your business without controlling your overhead? It's just going to grow.
That's right. And energy independence is taking a whole new definition going forward.
Yeah, and the holy grail of the whole thing now has become storage, man. That's something else, isn't it?
Yes, and we're very excited to see all the different storage options nowadays, and partnering with the right one. That's a huge decision to make.
It's a huge one. And we're really depending on you guys to make that decision for us because we're one of your customers.
Yeah, and I was about to say the same thing. We're relying on you to make the decision for us and what we need to do to stock properly. But no, we're all in this together, and storage has really come to the forefront no matter what state you're in, especially here in Florida. A big piece of that is the impending hurricanes that we deal with, the impending power outages, and just making sure that our homeowners here are safe and secure and they have that option.
Yeah. We just had a fellow we were talking from the Midwest, and we were talking about tornadoes versus hurricanes. And, hurricane, at least you have a little time. And a tornado, you got to start digging around like a gopher trying to get underground.
Can't imagine it. Yeah, that's scary.
Well,
I'll take a hurricane any day.
America, when you think about it, Clark, America has so many beautiful things. Every state has something to offer, isn't it?
It's so true. And I love getting out of my comfort zone, getting out somewhere like Nevada, looking around. Something a little different than what we're used to in Florida.
You've been out. You haven't been to the speakeasies now. You're just working, right?
That's right. Yeah, behaving ourselves. Maybe a little event tonight to show some, honor our special installer guests that are out here. But I can see it's very easy to get distracted out this way. That's no doubt.
Well, we're very honored to be invited tonight. I can't wait. Gloria, what do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gloria says yes. That means a lot.
Oh, yeah. There's
the seal of approval is there.
I was just going up an escalator, and I thought I was going outside because of the painted sky on the ceiling, and they had the Venetian boats going. I mean, there's something to see everywhere you go.
It's incredible. A lot of activity. So I remember 100 years ago, it wasn't that many, but it seems like 100 years ago that we started with Sunwise. We were buying product from Sunwise. And I guess Sunwise really turned into SolarJet, didn't it? I'm not sure how that worked. But
there have been so many different transitions over the years, but SolarJet as a distributor has been active in the clean energy sector since 1979. Wow. So we have really grown, and we're so excited to see the future for solar. But we want to also pay tribute to our rich history here in the United States and keep those partnerships going based on that history.
Yeah, so talk about some of the products that you offer, Clark.
Yeah, absolutely. So being in the distribution space, we really want to create what we call one-stop shop solutions for our installers. So you're looking at modules, inverters, racking, and batteries, even down to EBOS, electrical balance of systems. Anything you can imagine you need up on a roof to complete an install, we want to be there to provide that for you. So on a granular level, we're really partnered with some of the top names in solar. You're seeing your Jinko modules, your JA modules, Hyundai, and then on the premium side, we're very excited to be partnered with Maxion and REC going forward. So a lot of awesome opportunities on the module side. And then speaking of batteries, we're very excited to announce our partnership with Tesla. That is a new one here. Wow. That we're really taking in stride, especially in Florida, in the entire nation as well. You can now access Tesla products through SolarJet distribution.
That is awesome. Well, I know that we've got some big projects coming up that you're going to help us with. We're excited about that.
Absolutely, yeah. Those projects, just based on the scale, could probably be an episode in their own. Just hearing about how they came to fruition, how your team is supporting these. But yeah, we're very excited to be closing in on these two large commercial projects for you guys.
I don't know if Scott would be happy to hear the word episode. We need to change that to exciting adventure.
Yeah, it is very, very much an adventure.
Episode is a little bit, just got scary. But you're right. It is.
And the support from Jinko Modules was a big part of that. We're very excited, and I'm going to go check out their booth here in a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah, we have another customer out there that's got a really, really nice big house up north that they're putting a large system in, and we're very excited about that. They're going to have, I think 13, 14 batteries or something like that.
That's incredible. That is a home right there, yeah.
Well, they got a big home, and they want to protect their home, and that's the way to do it, right?
That's it.
Right. So what's next on the agenda for SolarJet? What's down the road coming here?
So, as you know, the distribution landscape, really, let's just focus on Florida, is so competitive. And we all have, for the most part, the same kind of product, the same kind of pricing, the same sort of logistics support. So we want to differentiate ourselves to offer more value-adding services to our installer partners with training, education, advocacy, and really getting involved with the sales departments of installers to help them sell more efficiently and sell quality so that the homeowner is always the top priority. So getting more involved with the sales teams, not necessarily sales orgs, but the sales teams, to make sure that we can bring more value to them and help them close more deals and bring more energy independence into Florida.
Well, I think that's really important. I've often said that the way to gain business and respect is to answer the phone, respond really quickly, because the landscape changes so rapidly. Like, we'll get a phone call from a customer that wants an answer now, and dealing with a company like Soligent, they just every time I call you, Clark, you pick up the phone, you say, okay, I'm not sure, I'll find out, get right back to you. That's how business should be done. I
really appreciate you saying that, because a long time ago, a sales manager in one of my former distribution roles said the same thing to me. You don't need to be the most technical salesperson, but you need to pick up the phone, you need to be there, you need to have the connection point, and you need to help. You need to care about your business and getting it done.
Yeah, it really is similar with our sales force. We hire people, and by and large, they've never been in the solar field, so we've got a Solar Fit Sales Academy to train them. But once we kind of take the training wheels off and they're out by themselves, they need that support, right? They've got a little bit of knowledge. They're not really well informed at that point, but that's we have to be there to pick up the phone. Same thing goes all around, right?
Absolutely. And I learn more from my installers than anyone possible in this industry. The installers are the boots on the ground, the boots on the roof. They know what's changing, they know what's working, and that's who I lean on heavily, is the knowledge base of the installers.
So what do you think going forward? Do you see a lot of residential spiking? Do you see commercial picking up next year with the landscape?
I have a good feeling that residential will hold steady in 2026, especially here in Florida. With the TPO domination, the leasing, it's such a big deal that even with the removal of the ITC, I have full faith that our installers are going to stay the course. They're going to stay strong with an increase to commercial. So that's what we're really hoping to see, and that's what we want to be there to support.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that, because in the industry there's a lot of question. Let me put it that way. A lot of question out there, and we're always the eternal optimists and say, we've been through this before. In fact, if you really think about it, we were supposed to have lost the tax credit prior to this,
right? And
then they re-engaged and started again, and then it lost us. So it's the yo-yo trail that we're on, right?
I'd be shocked if we didn't see it again one day. But until then, we just need to stay the course and really join in together more than anything, which is what Bill and I have really done collectively through the Flacia organization. But really join together and know that all of us here, all the 40,000 plus here in this building today, we're all in this together.
40,000. Did you count them?
I believe I saw that on a sheet. 40,000 plus. It's amazing. A lot of hands to shake.
We came in early this morning. There wasn't very many people. I went, wow, this isn't going to be quite a show. And then I walked out at lunchtime, and it was packed.
It's amazing.
It's really fun. And we were talking to a cab driver, and he goes, we're about the only game in town right now. That's pretty odd, isn't it?
Wow. That is shocking. This is a big one. This is my first big one. I call it the big show. Yep. And it is, I understand it now.
You got comfortable shoes?
Oh, yeah. I'm walking around. I'm getting my steps in today.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what? We got to take a short break. Folks, stay with us. We'll be right back. Hi folks, Bill Gallagher with SolarFit here. Have you ever thought about utilizing solar power for your home or business? Well, there's never been a better time to plug into the sun and stop renting electricity. How would you like to let your roof start paying you each month? Give us a call at 445-7606. That's 445-7606. Or visit us at solarfit.com and set yourself free.
SolarFit your life and set yourself free with the sun's free energy.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Solar Fit Renewable Energy Show with Bill Gallagher. Out in Las Vegas with
Gloria Edson.
RE Plus 2025. We first started coming out here about 17 years ago or something like that. And the first one I ever came to the SPI show, it was almost entirely solar thermal. There was no PV. Wow. And then it started ratcheting up, and now, the people are flying in on their Cessna Citations and their suits and stuff like that, doing huge business deals with megawatts all over the world. This is unbelievable.
It really is, and it's so fun to be here with you guys today. And again, it only took us to come all the way out here to Vegas to get behind the mics together. 2 Floridians, 3 Floridians. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, when you talk about Florida, you can't talk about solar without talking about FLASIA. The Florida Solar Energy Industry Association started in 1977, 2 years after we started in business.
It's amazing.
And we've been with them ever since.
FLASIA is such a great organization, and the growth and the advocacy efforts that are happening here in Florida, it's clear that it is a necessity.
So if you're a customer, right, you're a potential customer, you're thinking about investing in solar, how do you know where to go? Especially if you're new to an area, you don't have any people to make recommendations. What source do you go to protect yourself? And it's FLASIA.
That is it.
Yeah, and thank you, and welcome to the board.
Yes,
Very
thank
nice
you.
To have you on the board.
It's amazing that my first year on the board was such a special time for FLASIA because we had so many different changes. We were fighting net metering in Orlando. We were preparing for the 5th summit, all of these really huge events that are defining the work we're doing. And now we have a new executive director, which is very exciting.
So he's going to be on, I think, tomorrow. He's coming on the radio show with Bill Johnson, the new how you say, second-term president. Oh,
correct.
Man, I'm going to have some good times with these guys. Right, Gloria?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't give Gloria enough fair time, to be honest with you. Usually she takes the mic and just starts talking, so I got to reel it back in.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun, though. Anyway, Clark, being on the board, talk about a little bit about what FLASIA does. What do they do?
Yeah, so my involvement with FLASIA started out on the event side. So what we were doing was trying to develop networking events that were educating and brought the solar industry together to be there together, listen to each other, learn from each other, and then that allows FLASIA to go out and advocate for the most practical, feasible, and most importantly, ethical solar practices here in Florida. So FLASIA is really leading the way in advocating for the solar installer and making sure it's done right.
For sure, and they've got, if you go to their website, flasia.com, I think that's it.
FLASIA. Yeah, flasia.org. I believe it may be the org.
.org.com.
But a simple search of FLASIA will definitely get you there.
FLASEIA, kind of like SIA.
That's right.
Right. Okay. If you go there and you search around a little bit, you'll find tidbits about how to select a contractor, different laws that have been passed, laws that allow you to access solar, say, in a community where there's an HOA. That could be very helpful, right?
Absolutely, because they're so different depending on the county, depending on where you are in the state. They're all so different. It makes my head spin trying to figure out what's what.
Yeah, this is really, really good source of information. Also, the newly formed Solar Apprentice program, which is really, really coming along well. We really would like to see more and more contractors get involved and bring their employees in to learn from the ground up what it's like. It's really cool.
Absolutely, yeah. Starting on the roof and really seeing what these installers go through on a daily basis is so important to understanding the big picture of solar.
Yeah. There's really a lot of pieces and parts to solar when you think about it. Really, everything from the initial conversation with the homeowner to the decision that they make, whether they want to invest cash, if they want to finance, if they want to lease. There's a lot of pieces and parts. Once that's done, it goes into the engineering process where you have to design this stuff to be engineered. Then it goes to the permit process. Then when it goes to the permit process, it goes on your house, right? Then when it goes on your house, you have the interconnection issues. There's a lot that goes on.
It is a step-by-step process, and in the back end too, the installer is making sure that they're sourcing the right equipment, that they've spec'd the right products from the beginning, so they don't have to re-engineer anything. And there is a lot of moving parts with something that, from the outside looking in, might look like a simple construction product, but it's very sophisticated and very rewarding.
Well, from a homeowner standpoint, it's really pretty seamless. They're not involved in any of that. They don't see what's going on, but they're just, hey, my electric bill went to $295 down to $25. That's pretty cool. And another 4 years, that $295 bill will be maybe $470, and to keep that at $25, whoa.
That right there is
cool.
The return on benefit right there. Like, that's what you want. You want a return that looks that good on your investment that is going to keep you where you need to be.
Yeah, so when you're talking about investment, there's two different ways, really, or three, actually, that you can invest in solar if you pay cash, which is really, really nice if you have cash sitting somewhere and it's not giving you the return that you want, and you can take that out of wherever that vehicle is and you put it on your roof, and all of a sudden, bam, guaranteed return. And every time the utility company raises their bill, you get an increase in your ROI. How can you beat that?
That's right. That's a huge selling point for solar right now. And we really, the biggest thing we want to focus on is giving the homeowners the independence they deserve, and no better state to do that in than the Sunshine State right now.
Well, you really got your finger on the pulse when it comes to the products that the installers are looking for. Obviously, you've got your ear to the ground, right? You hear some installers say, I want such and such a module, and you may counsel them and say, well, you could do that.
You know what's really leading the charge right now are the AVLs, the approved vendor list. So on these TPO products, the financing partners, what they are determining as approved on their vendor list is really what's determining the direction that a lot of these installers are going.
Good
so
point.
We want to, as a distributor, we're keeping eyes constantly on AVLs and making sure that we have exactly what our installers need, and we have it where they need it.
So Solagen is involved in the leasing part of it too, as far as supplying partners and stuff?
Absolutely, and especially on the direct pay, which is a special tool you can use with distribution to help offset your cash flow in terms of picking up products and not having it pull from your available credit lines, utilizing the direct pay through these financing lenders so that you don't get bogged down with cash flow issues, depending on how long your permit process is.
Yeah, so now that's if you're a consumer out there, this may be double Greek, but to people that are involved in the industry, extremely important. So what you're talking about is actually covering the cost of the materials so that it doesn't impact the credit limit of the contractor. Wow, that's huge, isn't it?
That is correct, yeah. And each financing lender that we deal with offers a different sort of payment system, of course, but it's there to use it if you need it. And just know that the installers that are utilizing that, their cash flow is just so much more efficient, and it allows them to continue with high-quality solar installs one after the other.
What are you seeing in Florida, Clark, as far as percentage-wise of lease to sale? Or you have a kind of an idea?
So I've heard two numbers today. I've heard 95% of the sales here in Florida are the TPO leases. I've also heard 80%. So a few years back, it seemed that cash was king. That's all we saw here in Florida, and it made the procurement process a little bit easier, maybe a bit more tactical. But right now we are seeing a large percentage go the financing route, and I believe that will continue into 2026.
Yeah, and as little as 3 years ago, leasing just wasn't a thing, right? And then the increase in interest across the board from a national standpoint all the way up jumped the price of conventional financing, and then, well and behold, here comes the other, it's leasing, right?
Exactly. So, and no matter what, if you're selling cash, if you're selling leasing, no matter what it is, we just want to be there to support you on the procurement process and make that the most enjoyable experience possible. Yeah. I saw some numbers come out with the with Solar Power World magazine saying that over 50, 60, 70% of installers source their equipment through distribution. We all know you have to go through a distributor at some point. So what I'm trying to make the new standard with Solagen is elevating that installer distribution experience, creating true partnerships, and really just trying to drive the message that this doesn't have to be a push and pull. This can be a positive experience from the get-go and have that ripple effect go to the wonderful homeowners here in Florida so that everyone feels it.
It really is when we're dealing with Solagen. It really is. It's just a good feeling. It's not like, oh, gosh, we got to call this guy. No, it's all a partnership, right?
Right.
Yep, we got some good stuff going for the homeowner. Do you have some of this available? Good. When can you get it to us? Clark says, do you hear that? I go, what's that? He says, the car's running now. And I go, all right, they're on the way.
They're on the way.
I love it.
Orlando to where you guys are in the Daytona, Holly Hill area. That's not too far.
Yeah, so talk about your warehouse in Orlando.
Yeah, so Orlando is what really defines our elevating the installer experience advantage Florida mindset. We have nearly 90,000 square feet of available distribution space in Orlando. Any sort of product that comes into Florida goes to Orlando first, and then we can then transport it out to some of our other smaller locations like Tampa, for instance. So Orlando is designed to support installers all throughout the state of Florida. It's created nearly 3 dozen jobs here in just the Orlando market for our warehouse team.
Wow.
But that's really where we want to focus on the distribution experience. And I mentioned earlier the drive to be more of an education fund. We want to really drive education. We have a mock roof within our warehouse where installers can get up there and train on it. So training, just experiencing that new level of education is so important to us, and that's all been possible by the investment that Sologent made here in Orlando with the Orlando Distribution Center.
Yeah, we have a very famous fellow that's joined Sologent. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our new president, Tony Garzolini, is leading with just the most direct guidance that we could ever imagined, with his nearly 15 years at SunPower and with experience with Generac as well. I mean, couldn't think of 2 better experiences to bring to the Sologent table. And we're really thinking outside the box, away from pricing, availability, lead time. And Tony is very adamant about getting more involved with sales training and driving more value through education.
Yeah, that is so cool. One quick question. Can we get Gloria on that roof in Orlando? What do you think, Gloria?
Absolutely.
I can get up there. I'm not sure I can get down.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a thing called gravity. It takes care of that. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. Just fall right off.
We might need you to sign a few things before, but we can make that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, the disclaimer is 29 pages, kind of like a lease agreement, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Ignore the fine print. Yeah.
Don't worry about that. It doesn't mean anything, really. Well, Clark, this has been a lot of fun, man. We're almost out of time. What would you like to tell the public before we sign off?
Gosh, I just want to say thank you so much. And to all the Floridians listening, thank you for listening in, tuning in, and being a part of the SolarFit Renewable Energy family. So happy to be here. Happy to be a proud partner of Bill and Gloria, and I cannot wait to do this again in the near future.
I'm going to give Scott a call and tell him to double our order because I've got a yellow band on my wrist that gives me a free beer tonight.
Oh, yeah. Maybe 1, maybe 2. It's up to you.
I don't understand why Gloria's got 2 of those yellow things. I don't understand that. Oh, man. Anyway, folks, Sologent, awesome company. Clark, thank you so much, man. Let's get down and have some fun.
Let's go have some fun.
Okay, folks, we're going to sign off, and we will be good. I promise you. We'll see you next week.